Welcome to the Wager Detective Report for breakdown analysis and prediction for this game.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. This is Wager Detective. We're going to cap this Red Sox versus Marlins game. Today is August 24th, 2026. Let's get into it. We look at Boston this year, 71-59. They are 37-27 on the road. This team is fantastic, man. They got a lot of talent on this team. I like them. They have a lot going on, and they're making a playoff push. They're trying to catch the Yankees here. They're not too far off Tampa Bay, and this team's just playing fantastic, man. When we look at them on the year, they're plus 99 run differential. They've won their last 3 games. They're coming off a homestand. Now they're going to hit Miami, and they've won 3 in a row. They're 7-3 in their last 10. Team just looks good, man. I like this team. They've seemed to play better. As soon as they got rid of the manager, they just seem to play better. And when we look at them in interleague games, they're 23-19. Okay, and they're 51-47 against right-handed pitching. Surprisingly enough, they got a better record against left-handed pitching, but they'll be seeing Sandy Alcantara today. But good in interleague action. This team, ever since they fired Cora, man, is just playing absolutely fantastic. And I think, you look at them in the American League, they got a good enough shot just as anybody with the way they play. Look at this team, led by Rafaela in batting average, Contreras leading the team in home runs and RBIs. I like Rafaela, Abreu, Duran, Durbin, hidden gem, Contreras. Love that kid. Monasterio, Yoshida, Wong. They got some depth there. They got guys that are seasoned. And in their last 9 games, they're 6-3 plus 13 run differential, scoring 5.6 runs a game to 4.22. They're hitting 294 over their last 9 games and 278 with runners in scoring position. Their last 3 games, the batting average goes up to 303, and the runners in scoring position pretty solid still, .267. So they're playing great over their last 9 games. They're looking fantastic. Batting average is up, and the runners in scoring position numbers over their last 9 and 3 are fantastic. So this team is hot. They're staying hot. And we look at them on the road this year. That, like we said, they're 37-27, scoring 4.5 runs a game, 8.4 hits a game, a home run per game, 245 batting average. But the OPS looks fantastic, 723 OPS in their road games this year. 10 games above 500, 4.5 runs a game, and they're hitting for power and extra base hits. With that OPS showing 723. So solid numbers, again, like this team and what they have. When we look at them this year, homestand to road, no rest, they're 4-4. -1 run differential, scoring 3.6 runs a game to 3.75 against. They're batting .250 in the split and only .211 with runners in scoring position. We look at their last 3 in the split, they're 2-1, scoring 3.6 runs a game to 2 runs against, hitting .223 and .222 with runners in scoring position. So when they go from the home to the road with no rest, numbers drop a little bit. And that's the split they're going to be in here, going from home against the Giants yesterday, heading down to Miami. That's not just around the corner. It's a little bit of a trip. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust with no rest going all the way down to Florida. Now, we isolated to the Red Sox homestand to the road Monday with no rest. This year, they're 2-1, +2 run differential. They're scoring 3.3 runs a game to 2.67 against. They're batting .232 in this split and only .182 with runners in scoring position in the split. So we looked at their numbers over their last 9, and then we look into the road to home to road, and then isolate the home to road Monday, no rest. Numbers get they dwindle a little bit in that split. And again, they're going from Boston to Miami. That's not just, like we said, if you looked at the travel report on Twitter that I wrote up, it's not an easy trip. They're going to be seeing Sandy Alcantara. This guy's having a fantastic year. 13-8 record, 3.46 ERA, 131 strikeouts with a 1.18 whip. Kid's a veteran. He's still young, only 30 years old, right-hander, big guy, and great record. Very respectable ERA, good strikeout numbers. When we look at him in the 2026 season, 176 innings pitched, 3.46 ERA, given up only 18 home runs all year, less than a home run a game, 1.18 whip. The strikeouts aren't really dominant, but he's not walking a lot of traffic. He's not creating a lot of traffic. He's only giving up 8 hits a game. The guy's just consistently always been solid. And this year, he seems like he's put together a strong year, and he's got a lot of innings there, 176 2/3, which is a great sample size to know that this guy is going to give you a great performance every time he takes the mound, and he's going to be pitching at home here, so that's even a little bit more of an advantage. When we look at some of those Boston splits, even though in their last 9 they're good, again, when you go from a homestand like that, which was a big part of that split over their last 9, then you go on the road, Wager Detective kind of throws that into the cap. So when we look at this, Alcantara last 5 starts, his team is 3-2, plus 6 run differential. They're only scoring 2.2 runs a game to 1 run against. In his last 5 starts, Alcantara 33 innings pitched, 6 hits, a 1.09 ERA. He's only given up 1 home run in his last 5 outings. Walks look good. Strikeouts aren't that impressive, but the wins did come against the Angels, Mets, and Phillies. The losses came against the Reds and the Phillies. So in his last 5 starts, he's looking good. If they could give him any bit more of run support, it's going to take a lot more pressure off him, being able to open up what he wants to do against batters. He has good command. You can see the walks aren't that bad over the last 5 games, and the ERA 1.09 over Alcantara's last 5. When we look at Alcantara on 4 days rest, he is 6-5 plus 9 run differential. His team is 6-5 on 4 days rest, 5.09 runs per game to 4.27. In his games on 5 days rest, 79 2/3, giving up almost 9.5 hits a game. ERA jumps up to 4.41. The home runs jump up to 1.58, and the walks are respectable. But in this split, the home runs stand out, the ERA stands out, and the hits stand out. And it's going to be interesting to see if, they can score for him. Now, when we look at Miami, they're 67-64, and they're 41-25 at home this year, which is solid. And when you look at that, they're not that far behind the Phillies, guys. They're only 6 games behind. We got a bunch of games left here, and I'm sure these 2 teams, Phillies and Miami, are going to see each other. They're very much alive in this playoff picture, no matter how you want to look at it. You look at them, they're plus 21 run differential. They're right there with the Phillies. They're only 6 runs back from them. They've won their last 3 games, just like Boston has. They're 5-5 in their last 10. And ESPN puts them at a 5.8% chance to make the playoffs. But they're right in it. And I can only imagine how fired up they're going to be for this game, knowing that they're going to be playing a game that's a great pitching matchup. They should be ready, prepared to go, and try to continue what they're doing. And when we look at them, they are only 19-23 in interleague action, but they're only 13-18 against left-handed pitching. So they're going to be seeing Ranger Suarez. So Boston has the better interleague record, and against left-handed pitching, like we said, you see there Miami only 13-18 against left-handed pitching. We look at this team led by Otto Lopez, leads the team in batting average. Hernandez leads the team in home runs. Liam Hicks, no longer there, led the team in RBIs. But you look at Lopez, Edwards, my favorite player on this team, Marcy. You got Stour, Sonoja, Hernandez, Cassie. Mack it can come up clutch. We've seen him in the box scores. Conine, another guy. They got some guys in this lineup. Maybe not the lineup that Boston has, but they're dangerous. Last 9 games, the Marlins, 5-4, plus 10 run differential. They're scoring 4.22 runs a game to 3.1 against. They're hitting 245 over their last 9 games and 243 with runners in scoring position. When we look at their last 3 games, they're only batting 233, but look at that. Last 3 games, they're batting 286 with runners in scoring position, and that's a lot better than some of the metrics we've seen in this cap for what Boston's doing. Boston's batting average is a little higher, but we looked at Boston's RISP in their last 3, a lot lower than what the Marlins are doing. But we'll see. Marlins home splits this year, 40-25, great home record. They're batting 251 at home this year. They're scoring 4.4 runs per game. Look at the on-base percentage, solid, 33%. Slug, solid, 403. 734 OPS. That is a great slash line for the Marlins in this home split right here. 40-25. You just can't take nothing away from that. So Sunday and the Monday games at home this year, they're 2-3, minus 4 run differential. They're scoring 4 runs a game to 4.8 against. And they're batting 256. But look at the runners in scoring position when they have this in the split. 12 for 35, 343. Dude, those are solid numbers, and they're at home, and they're going from Sunday to Monday. They're more comfortable. They didn't have to travel. They're looking pretty good, and this split makes it even stronger. Even though they're 2-3, they've shown the ability to be able to score. They're going to have a good pitcher on the mound. If they can give Sandy Alcantara 4 or 5 runs, takes pressure off him, And we know Boston has the better bullpen. When we look at the Marlins versus left-handed pitching, they're batting .239 this year. Respectable 32% on-base percentage, .384 slug. And the OPS is still pretty solid, .704. So that's a good slash line. You'd like to see the slug up around 400 to really, tweak your interest in backing them. But I like that stat line. And again, they're 40-25 at home this year. They're going to be seeing Ranger Suarez, 30-year-old, another 30-year-old, just like the pitcher will be facing. And we look at what he's done this year. 5-3 record, 3.41 ERA, 113 strikeouts, and a 1.18 whip. He's been a solid piece of this rotation for the Rangers. We look at him in 2026, 5-3 record, 3.41 ERA. He's only given up 7 home runs. He does not give up home runs. We look at the walks, respectable, striking out almost 9 batters per 9 with a 1.18 whip. So all those numbers are solid. They're very comparable to what Sandy Alcantara is doing, and it's pretty much identical. He's better at not giving up. Suarez is better at not giving up home runs. He's 3-1 this year in road splits. His team is 59 innings pitched, giving up only 2 home runs on the road this year in 59 innings. But teams are only batting .238 against him. When he pitches on the road, he's striking out 9 batters per 9. And we look at his last 5 starts. His team is 4-1, plus 14 run differential. They're scoring 8 runs a game, the 5.20 against. Last 5 starts, 22 innings pitched. He does have a 4.50 ERA over his last 5, and he's only striking out 6.55 batters per 9. The wins over his last 5 came against the Diamondbacks, White Sox, Dodgers, and Blue Jays, and the 1 loss came against the Blue Jays. So when we look at that, they're hitting for him when he pitches in his last 5 starts. Can it happen here? 8 runs a game scoring for him, so it takes a lot of pressure off him. But I don't know if he's going to be afforded that luxury in this game. Last 5 starts versus the Marlins, he's got a 3-0 record. He's given up 6.6 hits a game, a 3 ERA, striking out 9 batters per 9. So last 5 versus Miami, he's got his personal record's 3-0 with a 3 ERA over 30 innings pitched. He's seen these guys when he used to play with the Phillies, and now he's with the Red Sox. He had a little bit more power on that Phillies team than he does here. I believe the Phillies lineup was better than what the Red Sox got now or back then. And we look at the Rangers Suarez 5 days rest. This year, his team record is 7-3, plus 16 run differential. They're scoring for him on 5 days rest. 5.9 runs a game to 4.3 against. On 5 days rest this year, he's got 50 innings pitched, 7.25 hits given up per game, per 9. He's got a 3.08 ERA. Again, the home runs. He's only given up 2 home runs on 5 days rest this year. Strikeouts aren't really, he's not over-dominating guys, but he's not walking guys either. He don't give up power in the ERA, 3.08. When we look at the side-by-side splits here, home and away, Suarez, 3-1 record, 11 starts on the road. 2.75 ERA, doesn't give up the home runs. Team's only batting .238 against him. When we look at Alcantara, 6-3 record at home. Larger sample size and innings pitched, giving up less hits. The earned run average is better, and the home runs are almost identical, and he's not striking out a lot of batters either. But look at the batting average against when he pitches at home, .201. So he's going to be, that Red Sox lineup is in for a real treat having to face this guy today. And when I mean treat, it's not in a good way. So the numbers here, home and away, it looks like Alcantara has the better numbers overall, including the sample size of the innings pitched. When we look at them on 5 days rest against 4 days rest, Suarez, team, 7-3 when he pitches on 5 days rest, scoring 5.9 runs a game, 3.08 ERA, strikeouts looking good, not giving up home runs. Alcantara, 4 days rest, 6-5. Team is plus 9 run differential. They're scoring 5.09 runs a game, the 4.27, 4.41 ERA, a little higher than what Suarez has with that extra day. He's given up a little bit more home runs, 1.58. That could be a concern. He's not walking guys. The only concern here is the home runs. And Boston has guys, but they score for both these guys on their respective days off. The ERA, like we said, for Alcantara, a little higher, but he's got also a larger sample size of innings pitched, almost 30 innings. So it's reasonable to say these guys are pretty much identical on their respective days off. I would give the edge to Alcantara in some of the splits as far as the wins and the ERA when he's at home, and some of these other splits, you're going to want to listen to this recap again. When we look at the Marlins split against the Red Sox, when they go from Sunday to Monday, again, Marlins 2-3, -4 differential. The Red Sox 2-1, +2 run differential. But you look at the runners in scoring position from Sunday to Monday, the Marlins, that's the thing that stands out to me. You know, when they get guys on base and they're at second base or better, they're bringing guys in 34% of the time. When we look at the Red Sox, home to road Monday, 182 with runners in scoring position and a 232 average. So the Marlins own this split, in my opinion, even though the Red Sox got an extra win there. They're above 500, but the Marlins have more of a sample size in this split. When we look at the bullpens, the Red Sox, fourth best bullpen in the Major League Baseball with a 3.31 ERA. You got Chapman there. He's got a 1.85 ERA on the year. He pitched yesterday, 15 pitches, and Guerrero pitched yesterday. So from Miller on down, all those guys are fresh, ready to go. And I think even if they need Chapman, if it's a serious situation, they want to get the win, it's possible they use him. I don't necessarily know if they do with him pitching 15 yesterday, but it's possible you do see him. And then when we look at the Marlins bullpen, they're the 13th best bullpen in baseball, led by Fairbanks. But Fairbanks this year has a 5.80 ERA. And Fairbanks pitched 20 pitches yesterday. Ralston had 31 pitches. Foucher had 18, and Peterson had 12. So from Zuber on down, all those guys are fresh, didn't pitch yesterday. I don't know if you would see Fairbanks if they needed him, but he does have a 4.50 ERA in the last week. And then Peterson, I don't know if you would see him with a 15.45 ERA. I would imagine you would probably see Zuber in there, Vodnik, those guys coming out of the pen first. But if they needed Fairbanks 20 pitches yesterday, it's possible that they do use them if it's a tight game. Again, we said the Marlins, man, they're looking to try to sneak up on the Phillies, and they're still mathematically alive to make the playoffs, a wild card. And it starts here, and I could imagine that they're going to want to get this game. Guys, if I'm looking at this game, I'm going to give the slightest edge to the Marlins. All the numbers look good for the Red Sox over their last 9, but I caution that by saying they're going from home to road. That could break up some kind of rhythm there. You're in a different environment, and their last 9, most of those games were at home. So I'm going to give the slight edge to the Marlins here from all the numbers I looked at, plus 112. They're at home. They didn't have to move. They didn't have to travel. That's going to be my call. If I'm looking at an over-under here, I do believe somehow, some way, this game does get over, especially if both these teams work the other team's pitch counts. So that's going to be my call here. The Miami Marlins money line, and I think this game gets over 7.5, guys. I think one of these two teams will do it. So if I'm wrong on that, on the Marlins money line, then I definitely think this game will go over. I trust Boston's bullpen more than I do Miami's, and I think Miami knows they're going to have to get out somehow, some way on Ranger Suarez. We've seen in a couple of those splits, the ERA does balloon up, and I just by the slightest of margins, I factor in the fact the Marlins didn't have to travel yesterday and Boston did. A little bit of adjustment. They're not going to anywhere in New York or Philadelphia. They're going down to Miami. So it's a road trip. You're settling into a different place. It breaks up the routine of being at home and doing what you were doing at home over the last 9, which was a big part of their split. So, and we've seen how Miami plays at home this year. They have a great home record, great slug, great OPS, and they got a good pitcher on the mound to give them a chance. And I know that it's not great plus money, plus 112, but I think it's just enough for me, and I like them to win. It's not that it's plus money, because I'll go with the favorite if it calls for it within reason. But that's going to be my call here. Wager Detective calling the Miami Marlins to win here as a small dog, and this game to go over 7.5. This is Wager Detective. Like this video, subscribe, and Wager Detective more than anything else loves all his fans out there. I'll talk to you soon. Let's go Marlins, and let's go over 7.5. I'll talk to you soon.
Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.